given the fact that there is this sort of transition that's coming, and that the transition includes this sort of new way of thinking about how to sort of think of all the different topics together, what are you doing about that? Like, how are you going to be sort of moving forward? Are you still just going to be going through the same study materials, or are you thinking about it in a different way?
Well, one of the things that I'm actually looking forward to doing is using black spectacles, because I know you guys are going to have a revamped system for the 5.0. But with that said, and the takeaway from the webinar today with NCARB was some of the third-party vendors may not have their study guides lined up in the way that the current test is laid out. So I guess more of a sign of caution is be careful the way you study, because it may not be the things that you actually study for on the test. So, because the different changes have happened. Yeah.
So Laura might then say, well, then just take 4.0.
Well, kind of like the silos you were talking about, and kind of the direction I was going was, you know what exam you were taking in 4.0, and you could kind of, if you didn't know the question off the top of your head, you could kind of go through a little bit of logic and figure out, okay, this is the exam I'm taking. They're probably looking for this answer because this deals with, structures, or this deals with program and planning. So on this whole blanket of 5.0, I mean, when you're tested on everything together,
You don't have those background cues of, this is a systems exam, this is whatever the hell they're talking about, it must be about systems. And that can kind of help you through the process a little bit, yeah, but.
I'd counter that maybe. From the 3 exams I've taken, they can be a grab bag. Like, you are studying for a certain test, but they do pick up on other exams. Construction documents is going to appear on all of your exams. Like, you have to be on top of your game about a lot of different topics to be prepared for all the questions they are going to ask you. Granted, those might not be worth as much when they score it, but like, they are there.
Yeah, also in the transition plan, the 3 that you take in 4.0, construction documents and services, program planning and practice, and site planning and design, those 3 have an awful lot of back and forth. There's the word planning shows up in 2 of them, and just the names, let alone just sort of generally how the questions are likely to sort of fall back and forth. So those 3 specifically have a lot back and forth, but so do systems and building design. There's a lot of overlap back and forth between those. So I think that's true. So it's maybe not as different as it sounds. 5.0 will have a lot of overlap, but it's not like 4.0 didn't have or doesn't have overlap.